your mind as a tape recorder. Remember those devices from the old days before we evolved to first MP3 players and now smartphones? It constantly records and plays back all the thoughts as you go through your day. It captures thoughts like, I can't believe I said that. I am so not good with people. This presentation is going to be a disaster. I'll never get chosen for a high visibility project like other leaders. I'm not successful enough to get promoted. If you've ever had thoughts like the ones above, and I think we all have, then you've dealt with limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are thoughts that hold you back from going after what you want and preventing you from creating the life that you love, which is why you're here in this class, to create the life you love. As you know, I made a decision back in 2020 not to return to a corporate job because deep down I always knew that that was not where I was meant to be. Now, I was cruising along last summer, getting things figured out, having lots of great ideas, and really having a ton of momentum. And then all of a sudden, come about early August, I came up against a wall of self doubt. Even though I couldn't really see it at the time, I basically looked for anything else I could possibly do to distract me from work. And at that time, I went into a lot of self development, which isn't a bad thing by itself. I needed the development that I wanted to do, but it still was a distraction. But one of the things I did that was good for me was I hired my own coach. So after working with my coach for several months, I uncovered a deeply buried belief that I felt judged by my family for the adventures and the successes that I'd had in my life. And I have had a lot of fun. I have had a lot of success in my life. But because of this limiting belief that I was holding on to, I was hesitating to move forward with this new venture because I believed it would cause them to judge me even more. So, in a sense, I was just choosing to play it safe by limiting myself to what wouldn't stand out with my siblings. And I had to answer two critical questions. Do they really want to hold me back on my dreams just to please them and make them feel good about themselves? And the second question, even if they did, does it really matter? Am I not free to do whatever I want to do? When it came to actually answering the questions, the answers were easy. I don't know what they were thinking, of course. And if they were thinking things that were in my mind, it doesn't matter. I don't need to look to them for approval for anything that I do. So I'm free to do what I want. So you would think that knowing that and understanding that those are really simple answers, you'd think that would be it. But I came back to my coaching sessions for about 6 weeks straight, feeling like it was Groundhog Day, knowing what I needed to do, but something was in the way, and I was afraid to wade into unfamiliar new territory where I didn't have this limiting belief or this fear. The limiting belief had created for me a cozy, comfortable space. And even though I knew without a doubt what I was meant to do with my life, I still loved this. I had a love for this safe, comfortable space. And over the years, of course, I stuck my head out of the comfort zone from time to time, and maybe many times, just, to get a whiff of all the great opportunity that was out there. But there was always some kind of a hidden fear that kept pulling me back inside. In this lesson, you're going to explore your own limiting beliefs and see what you can find lurking in all of your dark corners. And there are going to be several exercises. I think there's 3 exercises that will help you pull all of those things out and then maybe create some alternate ways of thinking. But let me tell you what I finally did that ended my Groundhog Day movie. Sometime around week 3 of the movie, I gave the fear a name. It's Fred, Fearful Fred. Even though calling out your fears can sometimes remove their power, I had to be a little bit more firm than that with Fred. And I finally wrote Fred a Dear John letter to say goodbye. Actually, to say thank you and goodbye. The truth is, limiting beliefs and fears don't always cause us harm. In fact, they have really good intentions to keep you safe, and sometimes that's a good thing. But they do overstay their welcome, and that's what was true with Fred. Fred will always be a lurker in my life because you can't actually ever be totally free from fears or limiting beliefs, but you can neutralize them and put them on the bench. This was a really sticky issue for me, and I didn't necessarily enjoy the process. But once I got the satisfaction of putting it behind me and having a visual of Fred sitting on the bench with my letter, I felt more empowered than I had in a long time. And what I want for you to experience as you go through lesson 5 is the discovery of some limiting belief that has been hidden from you, and get the understanding that once it's out of your way, your path forward your path forward will be so much easier to find. So, happy hunting.